The Leafs 2 and the Penguins nothing. The shots on goal, 20 for the Leafs officially and 11 for Pittsburgh. The Leafs power play clicking. Wilf Paymon's 12th goal of the season, and then in the final minute of play, Boreas Salming made it 2-0, an unassisted goal, his 5th of the year. And with me is ex-Leaf Paul Gardner, now with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I guess it's nice to be back at Maple Leaf Gardens, even though it means playing for another team.
Well, it's certainly nice to be back in the National Hockey League, Dave, and it was a great pleasure for me when I heard I was traded to Pittsburgh, and everything's gone well so far, and I hope it continues to do that.
A former 30-goal scorer in the league, we sat around and wondered, isn't Paul Gardner going to help somebody in this league? And I assume you thought the same thing. Were there nights when you sat in Springfield and wondered why can't anybody make a deal for me?
Well, that's definitely what I thought, especially after the waiver draft at the start of the year. I thought somebody would pick me up, that you know, somebody could use maybe a fourth center to come off the bench and maybe score the odd goal. And it was some long nights for me, but fortunately that's over for a while, and I'm going to try and make the best of it.
Now, when you're in that position, do you say, well, I'd like to go here, I'd like to go there, or I'd like to go anywhere?
That's exactly what it was. I'd like to go anywhere. I talked to my agent, Al Eagleson, and he just said he's trying to get me out of Toronto, and I found out that a couple of teams were trying to get me, which was good to hear, and finally something happened, and I was, in fact, playing against Moncton, Toronto's farm team, and it was a fast plane ride from Moncton to Pittsburgh.
Now, when you hear that it's Pittsburgh, I suppose there are garden spots of the NHL that may be a little more attractive than Pittsburgh, but what was your reaction?
Oh, it didn't matter to me. As you say, it was anywhere I could get out and play in the National Hockey League and try and score maybe 30 goals against for somebody. It didn't matter to me at all. Fortunately, I went with Davey Burrows, and he knows the city, so we've seen a lot of the good spots. You probably just come in and see downtown, Dave. We're going to have a place outside of downtown Pittsburgh, and I'm really enjoying it.
The team has really been hit hard by injuries, and of course that probably paved the way for the trade. Pittsburgh's centermen have been hurt all year long. That must be a problem to go game to game not knowing who's in or who's out.
Right, it definitely is. Greg Malone and Greg Shepard both just came back off injuries, and you know, they're struggling a little bit to get their timing down and everything, and it was a break for me. That's, I think, why I got traded to Pittsburgh, because they had so many hurts, and we're still looking for Oris Kinderchuk to come back. So once these guys get in a little more of a groove and play a few games and we get Kinderchuk back, we'll do all right. But we're struggling a little bit, but we'll just get a couple of games going and get a winning streak going, and we'll be all right.
What are your first impressions of Eddie Johnson? I haven't heard any players say they didn't like him, so I don't expect you'll say that.
No, I like any coach that would make a trade for me, I guess. But Eddie's been great to me. He's given me a lot of confidence, and he's put me on the power play a few times, and it's just been tremendous for me. A new lease on life. It's just fabulous. Well,
it's good to see you back in the NHL, where you belong. Paul Gardner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are trailing the Maple Leafs after one period of play. Coming up next, a look at the Flying Fathers' visit to Tillsonburg, as the score is Toronto 2 and Pittsburgh nothing. Our intermission will continue in just a moment.